So here we have the Vice Chancellor of Cal State University, John Swarbrick, who, by the way, seemed to be the real deal from what we could tell. And so here's an email, and we got a hold of them as soon as Brian Haynes, Andrew Bodman, the provost, the president, Tomas Morales, and Milton Clark, who was responsible for the implementation of formal grievances on the campuses, failed to conduct those formal grievance procedures. We got a hold of the Chancellor's office, and Vice Chancellor Swarbrick was kind enough to respond. So, anyway, I blow the whistle in the... don't forget, the Chancellor's office in the end, they actually aren't really friendly to this complaint. They don't want to reveal this diploma mill. Just fine, man. Just make me whole. Just take care of me. Don't leave me out here. So what they're saying is, in this letter, briefly, is that Dr. Milton Clark, the Associate Vice President of Undergraduate Studies, is responsible for administrating the grievance procedures. Okay, and he didn't, and he got a copy of this, and so did, and Haynes would have had a copy, President Morales. So the thing is, Clark is real suspect. He's a clown. He's the one. Him, Haynes, Vasquez, Morales failed to act per their position as state employees, corrupting the formal grievance procedure, which is directly tied to the receipt of federal student aid. If you don't have a functioning formal grievance procedure, you're not going to get federal student aid. So this is another example that shows that, in fact, the MA TESOL Korea is a diploma mill. We just have to look at what they're doing. So Milton Clark doesn't do what he's supposed to be doing, what his position requires him to do, what the Chancellor's office is telling him he should do. He never does it. And he's never held accountable for this. This never comes up in the investigation. What happens is that Clark, at some point, I think in 2016, he retires, and then, rather frighteningly, he shows up again as the ombuds. So this is incredible. I mean, this guy, he just got through subverting these formal grievances, and now he's drawing his retirement. He has a second income, and this was part of the sweetheart deal that Tomas Morales gives to people who participate in this fraud. And so he's the ombuds after Tara Bisbee. She is chicaned because she's doing her job. They don't want the ombuds to be empowering students. It's not the job of the ombuds. The job of the ombuds is to minimize the problem, to do any damage control on the front end, and to put out any fires as quickly as they can. And so the thing is that we've got Milton Clark, Brian Haynes, Tomas Morales, all involved in this fraud. And the Chancellor, and this never comes up in the investigation, as I mentioned, and this is just further proof of the fraud that was taking place, that is taking place. They're still doing this. They're still running this MA TESOL thing, and they've got the MBA out of Vietnam, complete fraud. It's another CEL fraud. It's a pay-to-play. So the MBA would be worthless. And then they have this recent, in 2016 it was recent, a former employee, Cindy Shum, accuses Rong Chen of operating a cash for credits fraud with Chinese nationals in China and Cal State. And these are all violations of accreditation. These are all violations of international student visas. I mean, these are homeland security issues as well. And you can see there's just simply no accountability. So again, if you're going to, you just don't have any hope. There's no way you're going to win. People are functioning like some kind of cartel, some kind of criminal enterprise, and they're dipping their sticks as well.